Ayuboan,
Hello.
Kokomede
Are
Machan,
you? Yes. How are you?
Hyundai. How are you?
I'm good as well. This is kind of weird because you're talking Sinhalese and I'm talking back in English. So,
Yeah, people understand that. How are we doing?
so
You good?
good. I think let's just get started. So I'm gonna just firstly welcome and say we thought me and Michael have something in common that we love cooking and we both come as chefs. So we thought we'll do IG live session. So welcome everyone. And there's a question box. So if you have any questions, please ask questions. And also we thought of, we want our followers, the viewers to tell us for our next session, what would you like us to cook? Because we'll do a live cooking session and we like to do something Sri Lankan. So Michael will cook an authentic Sri Lankan dish. So comment and tell us what would you like to see. And I will do a fusion version of it. So let us know. So let's get started. So Michael, why don't you give a small introduction of yourself and your journey?
Okay, I just start basically my life 5 years ago. Become be Sri Lankan. So what happened? 5 years ago, I met my Manika in the UK.
Anika, yeah.
Yeah, my girlfriend. So and that time, basically, I never had a contact. I never have a contact with Asian culture or anything like that. So what happened? Uh, I met when I met her, we went to Sri Lanka straight. So I met her family, and I was really impressed about Sri Lankan culture and Sri Lankan food. And when we came back from Sri Lanka, uh, I tried and basically cook something for her, and I noticed it's not easy to cook. So what happened? I just found a job in the UK. And in my area, I'm lucky. I have a great chef. His name is Atul Kucha. So I started working for him, and that helps me to learn cooking all the spices and be good chef. And after that, I start learn do cooking with my Ami and with Chuti, with little sister and with my girlfriend. So it's just I learned that from all of you.
And now you're working in a restaurant that is 2-star Michelin. Is that correct?
No, it's this restaurant. We are in a Michelin guide, but
Yes.
the chef Atul is twice Michelin star, where he basically is the first Indian chef who get the Michelin star. So it's one
Yeah.
of the best in the country and in the world, I would say. And he cooking really good. Basically, the great chefs working for him. So I had a great opportunity working with one of the best chefs in the country. So uh, because of them, I know how to cook spices, how to. I know Indian food is a little bit different than Sri Lankan, but the spices are nearly the same. So that helps me to learn cooking with all the spices.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give a small introduction of myself. So for people who don't know me, I'm Rachitri Fernanda Pulle. Started cooking at a very young age, got into the food industry at the age of 16. I left to France at the age of 18 and I went to one of the, I would call the best hotel schools in the world. It was called Paul Bocuse Institute. So he's known as the godfather of cooking. So from there, worked under Michelin star chefs, Michelin star restaurants, and then got an opportunity in Australia. So I came to Shangri-La, Sydney, and I worked there. And then from there, I wanted more actually. And then I was thinking, what am I going to do with myself? Like, I wanted to be different. That's where I discovered new product development and food science. So I got into new product development. So people quite often ask me, what is new product? What do you exactly do? So I develop products for the retail market. So the recipes and products and concepts. So this way, as a chef, I was only able to give people who come to my restaurant to eat it. As a product development, doing product development, I get the whole of Australia to taste my food. So that's what I do now. Cooking is in my body, in my genes, and yeah, love cooking. Will never not like it. So yeah, that's my journey and my introduction.
And I want to say about your chef, what you were said. In France, that chefs had a three Michelin star from last 55 years. So he's a very, very famous chef and we really respect chefs in the world. So
Exactly. Yeah.
he
He
died,
passed
he died
away.
2 years, yeah, 2 years
Yes,
ago. Like,
exactly. Yes.
he was keeping.
Amazing chef. Yeah. Like with that chef had a lot of restaurants in France, Paul Bocuse. One thing he actually didn't do was women couldn't join his kitchen. We never got an answer for it, but he only recruits men for his kitchen. So I never got to work in his restaurant, but I went to his school. So that's a great opportunity. Um, the next question would be, what advice will you give people who want to be chefs?
Okay, so basically, it's what is very important is the passion. When you need the passion for cooking because be honest, when you work in a professional kitchen, it's very hard. It's very hard work, and you work in long hours. We work in Saturday, Sundays when the people basically have day offs. You have to do this job, so you need to be you need passion what you're doing because without that you will give up in a one day, and it's happened very often. So when you have a passion, you will do it, and because it's you work in a heat, you work in hot weather sometimes, and it's pressure as well because you need to be on the time. So it's very very hard job, and you need without passion, I think you can't do it.
Exactly. And you know what? It's funny because I'm going to say the same thing. I believe it's the same thing. So I get this question a lot from everyone. There's a lot of people who actually ask me, I want to be a chef. I want to be a chef. I just want to say it is a tough job. It is a very tough job. It's not a 9 to 5 job. You can't just leave at 5 o'clock and say it's over. You work midnights, you work big shifts, you work double shifts. It is physically and mentally hard. But if you have your passion for it, there's nothing stopping it. You need to have your passion to be a chef and to keep being a chef. But once you get there, sky is the limit because there's so much of opportunity being a chef. So I would say the same thing. Passion is number one if you want to be a chef.
And one thing you have to just put heart as well for what you're doing because food is something what you give the smile to people. So when you give the food on a plate, the food has to be looks yummy, and people going to your restaurants because they want to enjoy it. So you need to put your heart on a plate and make them happy. And when this plate coming empty, this is what you because you don't go face the customer, you're just coming from the kitchen. But it's nice to when these compliments coming to you and people appreciate and enjoy your food. This is the reason as well, and it's important as well is working in a team because you need to be a good player in the kitchen. You can't just you have to work in a team. It's like in a car. A car has wheels and one tire is broken. You can't drive a car. The same is in the kitchen. The big kitchen has a more chefs, so you need to be very very friendly and work like a team.
Exactly. Spoke my mind as well, to be honest. So good. What advice would you give home cooks, foodies who cook at home and want to be, yeah.
So this is what I'm doing at home. Basically, I'm cooking Sri Lankan food, and be honest, I just learning. So I just always ask my Ami, Chuti, or my girlfriend how to cook. So sometimes it's that is the technique also. So basically, you need to just basically do this with your heart. And when you're doing for your friends, for your family, even to surprise someone, or it's really nice. So even when the food is not tasty, and but you did, these people will appreciate for this much because the food is, like I said, is from stomach you go to heart straight.
Yeah. You know, I'm, it's like we spoke these answers because I have the same answer for it. Because for home cooks, I think you need to cook with a lot of emotion because for me, if I'm in a bad mood, I can't cook good food. If I'm in a good mood, my food says the same thing. So I just believe like, you know, you have to have fun in the kitchen, like cook with your heart, cook with emotion, put so much love into what you do. I normally call myself, I have a relationship with food itself. Like I like to play with my emotions when I'm cooking food. So the same thing, like you said. So yeah. um the other thing is, so the next question, what's your favorite restaurant in Sri Lanka?
Oh, that is. I remember when the first time I went to Sri Lanka, I went to the Pilaus in Colombo. So
Oh
it's
my goodness, I
basically,
can't believe you went there.
this is the it was really nice day because I was in the first time I was in a January where it was 30, 35 degrees. This was really hot. We went to with my girlfriend sister. We went to on a beach side, so we had lunch there. We have a few drinks, nice sunny day, and after evening we went to Pilaus, and there was the kutu what they doing there is the best. Be honest, I went there and when I went there, I was so impressed what they doing, how they doing. Eh, I didn't know I was talking to the owner of this place, and he said, "Okay, oh nice, you are coming, enjoying my food. Come to the kitchen, I will show you." And he basically took me to the kitchen and shows me how to do the kutu. And we did veg kutu, chicken kutu, because he has a simple menu. He's just doing the kutu. He took the chairs he put outside. We have a jeep, so we just sitting on the jeep. We sit on the chairs outside the shop on the street. We had the kutu, we have a Coca-Cola, and it was amazing, amazing time.
Oh my God, I can't believe you actually went there. It's a good place. It is actually a good place. So that's good. Good tip for you. So my favorite restaurant in Sri Lanka would be a restaurant called Tunapaha. It's at Water's Edge. I like it because it is authentic Sri Lankan, and it's not. It's like even the Sri Lankan sweets called kaum and cookies and all those type of things are made by people from by grandmas in Sri Lanka who knows exactly how to make them. And then they are very authentic. And the concept is amazing. And also the way when you go to the restaurant, you will see like people playing music and the authentic Sri Lankan way. And they have all these concerts, Sri Lankan concerts. The atmosphere is amazing. Um, People could call me, I'm a bit biased because for that restaurant because it's a brainchild of my father. My father actually opened that restaurant, so probably they'll tell, oh, she's a bit biased, that's why she likes it, but not exactly. I really like that restaurant, so yeah.
Actually, amazing.
The other question is, what one ingredient can you not live without?
Okay, so definitely it's coconut. I
Coconut. Oh my God, of course.
So basically, the coconut, that's why I love Paul Sambo or Paripu, even ala curry. I love because it's coming with coconut, and this is my most flavored ingredients in the kitchen. Same, I love tamili. When I was in Sri Lanka, I took the jeep. I went to buy the basically big bunch of the coconut. So I bought around 40 coconuts in a one go. And I was just drinking the tamili. is amazing. I'm lucky I'm here because it's in the UK we don't have so much tamili. It's just season and it's not lots of Sri Lankan shops has a tamili, so I don't drink a lot. So when I going to Sri Lanka, I drinking only that because I know I will miss this taste. And also it's the coconut, the green coconut is good for the cooking. So you can add because it's very rich in yeast, so you can make any roti or something. So give you puffy and nicely crispy the texture. So I using a lot coconut in the cooking.
Yeah, of course. Like, coconut is like something you cannot live without in Sri Lanka. So that's good. For me, one ingredient is actually olive oil. I use a lot of olive oil in my cooking. In every cooking I do, Sri Lankan, whatever the cooking I do, I use olive oil. Just because the reason being, olive oil has a very strong and very distinct flavor, and I like that flavor profile. Also, it's very good for health. It has very good health benefits. And I have two types of olive oil. So I have one olive oil for cooking, and then I have the extra virgin that I use on salads and all the dressings and things like that. So yeah, I love my olive oil. I cannot live without it. So yeah,
but be honest,
um
olive oil too, in using in the kitchen, but it's much healthier. I don't use the normal for the even frying, or I using always olive oil, so it's really good.
yeah. Okay, so one kitchen utensil that you cannot live without.
So it's the stala mota. I can't live with that. I using every single day. Even I make my tea, I put the ginger inside. I just um, damage that. And same when I do the pol sambal, different. When I do even the fish curry, all the spices, I damage. I break it inside.
Do you know what's it called in Sinhalese?
I can't remember, to be honest.
Wangedia.
Hungary, yeah.
um, for me, actually, I'll actually show it so that, people can see it as well. It's actually my, where is it? KitchenAid. I do a lot of baking and doughs and pastry and a lot of things. And I cannot live without it. I love it so much. And then it has the pasta equipment as well, and then the mincer and all of that. So I love my KitchenAid. And I think I didn't have it all the time. I mean, I bought it very recently, but it was a really good one to have to do a lot of things. So yeah, that's something now I cannot imagine my life without it. Michael, do you want to say like you also have a coconut grater, which I actually don't have, being Sri Lanka?
I bring from Sri Lanka, so the coconut grater helps me to this is my main items to do the coconuts at home. We are lucky we have a Sri Lankan shop in the corner, so we buying coconut always fresh, so we grind it as coconut all the time.
Yeah.
So it's important in my kitchen too. But if I show you my mota, so this one I just bring it. This one I bring from Sri Lanka, so this one is big one. So this one I'm using when I do example moldy fish.
Yes.
So this is because it's very heavy, so it's easy to break it. And also this one, small one, I'm using for like ginger or a little spices when I cook the chicken curry or fish curry. It's easy to do like coriander seeds or cumin seeds inside. So I just using that one. Also, I have in here that's that's proper Sri Lankan one. And I bought this one in Sri Lanka. All the items I bring from Sri Lanka because I know it's from Sri Lanka and I like it.
You have actually a lot of equipment that I don't even have, so that's good. Seriously, very good. Um, the next question is something funny that you did in Sri Lanka.
Oh, that was crazy, not funny and crazy. And I didn't know it will be funny and crazy. So it's my girlfriend is from Bateremula in
That's
Colombo.
where I live as well.
So amazing. So it's beautiful area because it's lots of beautiful lakes in over there, and it's so my girlfriend has she's allergic to the dust. So in a summer it's very dusty time. So in the daytime we're not coming out from the home. So one day I was boring, so I said I will take the bicycle and I will go somewhere. So I took the bicycle and I go. I no, I had just shorts, flip flops, no t-shirt, nothing. It's just basically me. So I was going between these big lakes and everything, and people really liked me over there. Make the picture, stop the tuk-tuk, make the photos. I was like, wow, what I noticed after that.
Celebrity.
I think I'm the only white person in that area because it's not tourist area. It's more like so I going on around and just see that like for 1 hour or something cycling. And when I was cycling between tuk-tuks and when I was cycling, I saw beautiful house in the middle of the lake. And I thought it's like hotel. I had some pennies, rupees with me. So I said, oh, I will go there, drink coconut water or something, and I will come back. So when I was going on a big roundabout, was in between tuk-tuks, and I saw the long road. So I just joined this road, and in the middle of this road to this beautiful hotel was the big gate, metal gate, and what between and it was little gap only for just my bike, but it was really quite was hill, so I was going quite fast down the hill, and I just cut this gap. And what happened? And there was little house next to this gate, and the 5 people came out from this with gun and said, "Stop!" So I was basically 40 meters from them. I just stopped it. I had just basically my wallet, flip-flop, and the shorts, nothing else. And I stopped it and I said, okay, sorry, I didn't know I can't go to this hotel. It's private hotel or something. So what happened? I came back. I was confused. And they have a proper gun. They have a like Kalashnikov, a big one, proper guns. And I said, what is it? And I just came back home and I didn't understand what happened. And so I was talking and same like to you, what's happened. And I was in shock. And what happened? They told me it's the parliament.
It was the
I
parliament that you
went to go through
Oh,
to
no.
the parliament, and there's lucky they
Oh,
didn't
gosh,
shoot
no.
me. I thought it's a beautiful hotel because it was on the middle of the lake, and I just going through to this door, and they nearly shoot me, and I didn't know what's happened. I thought it's maybe house or something. I didn't know it's the parliament.
You don't want to go there.
So now I know.
Oh gosh, that's so funny. Okay, so a funny story for me. So when I started working in Sri Lanka, so I started at Hilton as a trainee chef. So my dad was the executive chef at that time at Hilton. Not a very nice thing to have. Chef at work, home, he was my dad. So yeah, and I like to, when it's very hot in the kitchen, and every time after service or anything, I like to have a soft drink. So the guys used to do pranks, and I was like the executive chef's daughter, so no one used to prank on me. I'm like, okay, whatever. So they actually bought me a Coca-Cola bottle, and they said, oh, here you go, Rachitri, you can drink, because every day I drink it. I'm like, okay, no, there's nothing wrong with it. So I went and I started drinking it straight away, and it was soy sauce. So it was really not a good feeling. And yeah, it was quite Yeah, I was never
Strong flavors, I
expecting
think.
that, but what to do? I got
So
pranked as well in a
that
kitchen.
was, yeah, that was strong flavors.
Yeah, exactly. Um, okay, so we need to know from our viewers who are here, what dish would you like Michael to make? And then I will fusion the same dish and I will do the same thing in our next episode of live cooking. So we want to know, and if there's any question, now is the time because we are ready to answer. I don't think there was any other questions here. Do you see any questions? No? No questions. Probably we might get private messages asking to cook dishes. Is there any dishes coming up? No? Okay, probably. Then we'll settle for a pulse and ball then. Michael's favorite dish. Okay. What's your favorite Sri Lankan dish, Michael?
So it's my paripu, definitely. So
Paripu.
I
Of
can
course,
make
I knew you would say that.
that.
I knew you would say that. Paripu. Okay, we are getting some suggestions as well. So we'll come back to you guys after we decide what we are gonna make for our next session. My favorite Sri Lankan dish. Oh my goodness, I have so many. I need to say though, it's crab curry. I love crab curry. I would live on crab curry. So yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. That's about it, Michael. Um, okay, we have someone saying, what about ratatouille? I love ratatouille as well. Do you like ratatouille? That's about it. Okay. Okay, guys. So this is the end of our session. And we will see you guys in the next episode of a live cooking. Michael will be cooking and I will be cooking as well.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for everyone who joined us.
Next time.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye.